I sat, that thing was scary when I sat on it.
Yeah, she's a beast. She's a beast. Dead battery.
You did it all wrong. What was the big mistake?
I said, I've made one big mistake in my life, and that is that when I got out of high school, I should have become a nun. And none of this would have happened to me.
That is hilarious.
Moto Photo Adventures is on the road.
Wow. So this must be the air filter? The seat came with it? Can I jump in and take a look? What is this again? This is a...
It's a 1250
Sportster.
And
Wow.
they done a bunch of stuff to it. It was a drag bike.
Live to ride.
My buddy switched out the
A lot of the stuff.
switched out a couple pieces because he just got a Harley just like it. Sit on it. That joker's bad.
Man, you don't mind?
No, and this thing is so comfortable when you ride. Like I said, you can run it right across the field. It's a beast.
I feel like Steve McQueen.
This is what I do to relax. But if I ride fast in the dirt. And with the right safety equipment. So if you're riding in the streets, be safety-minded. Please don't ride too fast.
Wow. It's
I mean, it's old school.
It's
just
nicely
mean.
balanced.
It's mean.
Huh.
Loud and mean.
I'll bet.
But once you get it up to speed, it feels like you're riding a bicycle.
Well, come show me the other one too.
Yeah, let me see that one. Holy smokes. This is the one you just got?
Yeah.
Whoa!
My hydraulic clutch is stiff, and then I got a little bit of lift knock, so I need to get the valve set, and then
You need some new duct tape.
need some new duct tape. Yeah, because it's getting worn out.
This is amazing though. You can't hear that probably going
No,
down
you
the
can't
road. I mean,
You can hear it.
wow.
No, but when it's sitting there, you can at least plug it.
Yeah, Jason and I just got to tour this really cool factory where they make custom seats.
Right.
Sargent Cycle Products.
All right, to check them out.
And this is kind of like what they make. I mean, that's a real seat.
Cadillac.
Beautiful. What is it again? It's
It's a
Kawasaki?
Kawasaki Vulcan 1500.
1500.
Yep.
Wow. And that's not stock either, those pipes.
Neither is the intake.
Yep. Very cool.
Neither are the apes.
I know, right?
You ought to put the saddle on there permanent. That would be awesome.
But that saddle is designed for 1 horsepower. This is probably a lot more.
Yeah, this joke is bad. I ran out of gas coming down the road, and I was running it along, and it's got these railroad spikes on it, so I was pushing it, and a railroad spike caught me on the back of the leg and knocked me down, so the bike fell off into the grass, into the ditch, this way upside down, so I had to pick it back up again.
Oh, man.
So this bike is allowed to fall. Anytime it won't. But I have more fun on this one than I do this.
Oh, I bet, yeah. It's a lot lower to the ground.
I'll take down the dirt roads, 55, 60 miles an hour down the dirt roads.
But if I ride fast in the dirt.
Yep.
Well, get it bolted together and come follow us. Let's go.
Yeah, well, yeah, I have to bring another spare tank on the back. Like you said, I ain't gonna get my 60 miles out of that.
And I'm sure Jason being the oldest, that was the...
He was perfect.
Oh, right.
He was the only baby ever been born, of course. He was perfect.
Uh-huh.
And then he began to grow up.
Was that the problem?
He, from the very beginning, I can remember even at 6 months and up until a year, you don't rebel at 6 months, but he knew what he wanted.
Oh, get out of here.
He started walking early. I remember going to one of the first year doctor's appointments, and this was when my husband was in the military, the Army, so we had to go to the Army hospital. And I think he was 6 months old, and he was wiggling, and I put him on the floor, and he stood up and he began to walk from chair to chair, grabbing onto the other mother's legs. And everybody was absolutely amazing, and I thought it was normal.
Oh, wow.
Their children weren't walking yet.
No.
Of course, he couldn't turn loose, but he headed out, and he's been going since then.
Definitely not as low as your Sportster.
No, but that thing is right there. Ooh,
it's got this awesome suspension.
Ooh. Big total off-road CR500 with the double power bands. Boy, those things are scary. We used to race them in the corn rows. You get in a corn row, and after they cut them, and we used to race across.
I ride fast in the dirt.
And the whole time you're praying, please don't be a deer, please don't be a deer.
We were skipping rows on accident, but this thing was so powerful when you cranked up on it, and I was 14 years old, you had to lay on the front. It was just extreme power.
Otherwise, yeah.
You know.
We get a lot of lookers. We get a lot of people asking us, what are those?
Yeah. What y'all doing with it?
So this is Jason's new
That's a beast. Get close.
Husqvarna.
I love a Husqvarna too.
Just like your chainsaw. Remember your chain?
Man, look at the radiators on these things.
It's all right. It's not nearly as cool as an Italian. They're sweet.
Well,
they're Swedish, you know.
There's a Swedish, there's Italian. Well, hey,
When
they're
I
mountain climbers.
When I say Swedish, what do you think of?
Fish.
You know what else is unique and fish-shaped? Say.
I think of the Swedish chef on the Muppets.
Oh yeah.
No, it's a cool bike too.
And that's got a wide seat because you know how fat his ass is.
We should have opposite seats.
Well, I mean, you know, he's got to lean this way sometimes, and this way sometimes. That way you don't get any saddle sores.
Yeah, get one. Come join us sometime.
Yeah, I definitely want to.
Hey, it's nice to meet you, and thanks again for dinner last night.
I'm glad you came over and visited.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd love to come and ride. And what's up with these off-roads? I ain't never seen a single cut like that. Hold on. Stop.
Back on the road again, Jason.
Back on the FAT again.
Funny how when we stay with friends or family, we get a much later start than we normally do.
Ain't that the truth? You just can't stop talking.
Nope.
Or eating.
It's not just a stop for resting. It's a stop for catching up and fellowshipping.
That's true. I haven't seen my brother in person for a minute.
He was great, man. That was awesome. Thanks to Jared and your mom for being great hosts.
Yep.
And the donkey. I mean the pony and the yep. And all the 6 dogs.
6 dogs, 4 horses, 3 goats, and a Jared.
Oh, that was hilarious. We're just a few miles off of the trail. I can see it right here on my GPS. So here's my little blue dot right there. We're just gonna head on up there and catch the red line and be right back on the FAT.
Awesome.
Are you gonna do our weather report instead of Steve?
But today, from what I could see, at least at our geographic location currently, we're not supposed to get a whole lot of rain. It's supposed to be in the high 50s up to low 60s today without a whole lot of rain chances. Now that means currently geographically we can be riding right into something that's going to be a surprise, but tomorrow it says 90% chance of rain.
Boo.
And a little bit cold.
Boo.
Especially for the north of Florida.
Boo.
So we're going to have to make some decisions.
Yep.
Do we be hardcore and camp out, or do we go the easy route and get us another motel.
Credit card camping.
Credit card camping.
Well, stay tuned, everybody. We've got a fun adventure coming up today, and you can find out at the end whether we decide to be hardcore or decide to be wimps.
I won't describe it as wimps.
And cut.
And cut.
I recently had a big scare on my motorcycle. Luckily, I was not injured in any way, and there was only minor damage involved on the motorcycle. But I was super relieved to have Rick Stewart from scmotolawyer.com in my corner. So I'm going to put his information up on the screen here for you guys. I highly recommend that you do a screen grab so that you too have his contact information if you are also in a scary position like I was. That's Rick Stewart at scmotolawyer.com, or just give him a call direct to his cell phone at 1-855-GET-MOTO.
A lot of people see our videos and our adventures, and I get the question fairly often, how do you take that much time off? And how do you afford to do? And how do you do, how do you make this happen in your life to live your life the way you want to live your life? Well, we have a bit of an advantage over, the normal 9-to-5 kind of people because we're self-employed and we can tell our clients to stuff it for 2 weeks and we're going to go do our thing. I mean, there is a bit of a risk in losing clients to do that, but you have to put your priorities in order on what you want out of your one existence on this ball. And so if things were completely different and we were on the road all the time, because of the way that I was brought up and because we moved so much and because I've had more jobs than I can count, and my photography and video has become my career over the last 25 years, the first years of my life were spent in flux, consistently in flux. So the fear of letting go of a whole bunch of things, like selling everything and moving, that doesn't scare me. It doesn't cause me trepidation like a person who maybe has been at the same job since they were 19 and clocks in and out at a specific time and has a dependable paycheck every 2 weeks and all of that kind of stuff. I have been at the other end of the stick. So.
Yeah, there's definitely advantages and disadvantages to the freedoms that we have, you and I being self-employed. The disadvantage being that when we're on a trip like this, you're really good about turning off the faucet and saying, okay, I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. If you email me, call me, text me, I'm not going to answer until I get back.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I feel like I have to keep the ball rolling. So like at breakfast, I was trying to answer a couple of emails and sneak in a couple of texts to some folks, just to keep them on the hook for their photo shoots. But it's tough to do that when you want to just enjoy and relax and have fun on the trip.
So what was he like as a kid, once he got into like grade school?
He was very smart. He was more cerebral than he was athletic at that time. Mm-hmm. But he got out and played a lot. When we went into kindergarten, I was teaching at the school, mm-hmm. and so I had to put him in the daycare provided by the school. Mm-hmm. And they said, well, he's old enough, let's try with kindergarten, K-5. Mm-hmm. And after about a month, they came and said, he knows all of this. Let's go ahead and move him into the next one. So he got into a higher grade level, mm-hmm. even before he got to first grade. So then we went into change schools, and I was still teaching in that school. He never got away from me, and by the time he was a teenager, he was really tired of it.
Right.
Having mom there.
Mom and teacher.
Mom and teacher, and so I knew every girlfriend from the beginning, Mm-hmm. But he got a grade ahead, and by the time he got to fourth grade, he was third grade age. And once again, we had to change schools. His dad was a pastor, and we kept moving around a lot.
Yep.
And he was so small against all the other kids that they've been calling him shrimp, and got bullied. Well, it was around that time that we began really considering homeschooling so that he could go academically where he wanted to go, but still not be with older kids that he wasn't really ready to deal with.
It's amazing when we're riding along, the vocabulary that he has and the way he's able to put together all these puns and plays with words. It reminds me of growing up with my older brother. He was not athletic and very cerebral, and so he would attack me verbally, and I was just strong and athletic, but not as intelligent, and so I would attack him physically.
Trying not to breathe, so I fog up my glasses. Nice mossy limbs. Which way when we hit the stop sign?
Left and then 45 degrees right.
Oh, yep. I need that. I need that brake pedal from Alt Rider.
This is beautiful, though.
This is great.
Your mom said it would be.
Yeah, well, cool. Well, let's just get off Mama's, because I just got off.
Yeah, this is a good one. You can see all the leaves and the branches that are down from the storm, though. The road hasn't been swept by traffic.
Oh, this is cool.
Is that kind of how you got started with the whole school thing? Was that part of the homeschooling kind of led into? Because you founded your own school, right?
Yes, we did. The year that I turned 60, we started the school. The idea came about. I had been working with homeschooled families and giving advice and helping with curriculum and helping them know, okay, what do you do all day? Do we have to go by the clock and follow a school schedule? So there were so many people that I was helping for free.
Right.
It finally dawned on me one day, living in Florida, where they were just coming into what is called the umbrella schools, where the homeschooling families, the parents were accountable to someone, so they weren't just using it as a way to hide their kids and not work, So I decided, I could do this. I could start a school. So while I was still employed with a ministry, I started it in 2006. I remember in August of that year, we got our first student, and we said, we're on our way. And now we're going into year 18. And we started with me just giving advice. Then we selected some print material curriculum that we would mail to them, and they would send it back, like the old Calvert situation of homeschooling.
And that's how I was homeschooled. My parents ran us through the Calvert school.
Yeah, I kind of always thought of it as this is the way they did when you were traveling west and you had to get your education. You had to mail it back to the east. But then around maybe 2010 or so, we began to get into the online schooling. And so now the Oaks Private School is what we have. And we have 3 platforms of learning. One is Christian-based, one is secular, And the other is majors on honors and encourages kids to dual enroll with colleges. So at this point, we have about 350 students all over the world, from Fiji to Alaska to Vietnam.
Oh my gosh.
We work with a group in Spain that sends us 50 or 60 students every year.
Wow.
And they study in their own language, but they also take English. So just this past year, one of our graduates was accepted into St. Andrews University in Scotland, which is where Prince William and Kate went.
That's right.
So, you know, we've got the goods. We are the principal's office down the highway, not the hallway.
I love it.
Oh, look at that. That's beautiful right there. That pasture.
Bunch of trees down.
Yep. Well, they had that tornado, or the hurricane came through in like late August, September, whatever it was. And then just a few days ago, we had that big rain band storm that came through. And so it's probably done a hoodoo on these big old trees.
Sure. This is pretty, though. I like the wilderness roads, but it's kind of nice to go through the little farmland, too.
Oh, yeah. It's neat to see what people live down here, because you go down one of these dirt roads, you're going, wow, there's like real houses and stuff. They got to drive down this every day. I wonder how bad it gets during the rainy. You better own a 4x4.
Oh, Jason. Slow down very slowly and stop. Your green bag is falling off.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that could have been a problem.
That would have been a real problem.
Could have gotten a string caught up under your chain.
That would have been bad.
And your water bottle is open, so that's not good.
Disassemble Stephanie.
Reassemble, Stephanie. Reassemble.
All right. Pause.
All right. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Jason has avoided yet another catastrophe.
There's another nice mess you've gotten me into.
Jason tries to find the catastrophes.
Woo! Change of surface. Taking that corner really slow. It looks like they just graded this stuff.
Yep.
I have to say, big shout out to Tony V-Man 1313. He found some really cool trails through this state.
Oh.
How's it feeling?
What's that? The slicky?
You got the feel of the road?
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Front tire wiggle wiggle.
Definitely a little squirrely today.
Yep. I can feel it underneath me, but I'm not too concerned about it at the moment.
I can definitely feel my tank bag hitting me in the nuts. I mean...
Avocados. So I heard that the avocado comes from an Aztec word.
Yeah?
That means testicle.
Oh, get out of here.
Nope, it's true. I Googled it. I mean, after I heard it on a meme or something, I Googled it.
Oh,
and then, so if your guacamole is literally translated...
Oh, no.
Yeah, testicle juice.
That's definitely some boy humor right there. Slip sliding away. Slip sliding away.
It looks like it's hard packed, really nice, grippy.
Uh-huh.
But it is deceiving.
Yep.
It's like clay.
Especially with the bikes being so top heavy with all the camping gear.
Speak for yourself.
Okay, I'll speak for myself. I I know the trails around my house, you know, the extensions of the scar around Parker's Ferry and stuff like that. I'd be, you know, cruising pretty good through this with an unloaded bike.
Yeah.
But it's totally different when you're packed down with all the gear.
Well, the other thing we have to pay attention to, though, is we're trying, like, just in this last little segment we've done, it went from sand to clay to now this soil. This black dirt. And so we're having to pay attention to new terrain and pay attention to the storm that has happened to make sure we're not hitting something that's totally going to surprise us.
And pay attention to our partners' bags being, you know, falling off the back of their bike.
Also that.
And our GoPro's not working.
Also that. And saying hi to the cows.
Yep. And enjoying the ride. The scenery.
Keep your hands and arms inside the car at all times and enjoy the ride.
Tell me some naughty stories about things that he got into trouble with.
Well, I don't think
we
told us
won't
everything.
tell him that we won't tell him that you're telling me this. Okay?
As they've
it's just
gotten
between you and me.
older and we're sitting around the kitchen table, I'm finding out things I never knew happened. You know.
Well, we all keep those from our parents anyway, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're sticking to your story that he was the best kid ever, right? Is that the deal?
Yeah. I don't know if there's
How
a
much
certain
did he
age where
pay
that
you?
click. But no, he grew into a very analytical person. He doesn't suffer fools wisely.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, he has a very pun type making mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And probably the most obvious thing is that he wants to do it right, and he'll to his own detriment, he will keep on until something is perfect. Drives me crazy, but nonetheless, that's just the kind of personality he is. And
he has no fear. He decided to learn how to ride an adventure motorcycle on probably the hardest trail you could do, the Trans-America Trail.
Yeah.
And he just, you know, there was no quitting. He was adamant.
I watched that, of course, as you've traversed the United States, and I cannot watch that video where you're on the mountainside, and I guess it was Colorado. I'm still going, oh, scoot over, Jason, scoot over, get away from that, knowing full well he's perfectly fine in his own home, but it just makes my stomach cringe the way y'all did that.
Well, thank you so much, Mrs. Bennett. I've really enjoyed speaking with you and swinging with you on your beautiful porch and trying to dig up some dirt on Jason, but it just didn't
Well,
work.
after the camera's off, I might tell you a thing or two.
That sounds great.
Okay.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody. This is Chris from Moto Photo Adventures and Jason's mom, Mrs. Bennett. And I have to tell you, I'm tickled pink, the friendship that Jason and I have. He is such a kind and caring and wonderful human being, and I enjoy spending every minute I do with him. So.
Moto